guys, so today I'm back with a video and it's going to be my labor and delivery video, and I was going to start off this video by explaining a few things, but I'm actually just going to be mentioning a few things in the description box if I remember. I'm just going to get straight into the video because I already tried filming this video and it turned out pretty long and there was really no way to actually shorten it, so I'm just going to get straight. So I'm going to start off by saying that my baby really quickly was born on his first original due date, which was August the 13th. So you guys can have a little bit of background before I actually start telling my story, because a lot of you guys were confused on when he was born, because I would say August 13th and August 9th. Let's make things one clear. August 13th was his original due date. August 9th was the due date he was measuring by, because my stomach was a little bit big. So they were measuring that he was ahead. So they had giving me August 9th. August 13th, which was his original due date, was the day he was born. Okay, so August 11 was it started off me feeling alright, blah blah, you know, me just doing my regular thing. But one thing that I have to be pretty honest about that I wasn't mentioning to you guys was that I wasn't filming too much, I wasn't sharing it too much with anyone, didn't mention it to anybody but one close friend, 2 or 3 close friends. Didn't say much to anybody. I asked them to keep it a secret. I would say about 5 times I had went to the hospital thinking I was actually you know, contracting, which my contractions were really close together, but I wasn't like dilated enough for me to actually stay at the hospital, so I wasn't being admitted. So I had to wait until I started to dilate more and more for me to actually get to 4 centimeters, the required dilation for me to actually get admitted to the hospital. So you know what, you know, towards the end, after like the 5th time going to the hospital, I was really upset with myself because, to be honest, I wasn't eating the greatest and I wasn't walking at all during my pregnancy. So I was really upset at myself that I could have done a million things different to get a million things in return, you know, different for me, for my pregnancy towards the end to be a little bit different rather than how it really was turning out to be, because I started to feel really frustrated and my lower back was starting to really hurt, as you guys know from me posting an Instagram post on Instagram obviously. And a lot of you guys were like, you can do this. A lot of you guys were talking to me because I started to go back and forth between, you know, should I get the epidural, because I was really scared. You know, a lot of things were going to my mind, and it was only because I was in and out of the hospital. Wasn't really sure how to cope with me feeling the way I was feeling, so I wasn't sharing too much, but I wasn't trying to give out hints to you guys, thinking that, you know, for you guys to feel that I was at the hospital and for you guys to get excited. I didn't want to get anyone's hopes up until I was for sure admitted to the hospital with my bracelet, my room, and, you know, connected and all of that. So you know, August 11th, I was feeling kind of weird, felt pain, a little bit of a different pain, but I was just like, it's nothing, you know. By that point, who's not gonna be fed up, you know, being admitted to the hospital, not admitted, but like going to the hospital and having to go back home, because it's like nothing. You're not even dilated to what you're supposed to. So I was just like, it's nothing, whatever, I'll keep doing what I'm doing, I'll suck up the pain, whatever. So towards August 11th at the night, like going towards like midnight to like early AM, 5 AM, I was just not feeling it. Like I was like in pain, like I was just like not feeling too well, but I was still able to like really tolerate it. And it's all due because I have a really high tolerance for pain, all thanks to my period. Yes, I am thanking my damn period. Trust me, like if you have a really I feel that if you have a really bad period, your labor is gonna go easier, which for my case it is, and you'll understand why. So yeah, so towards the AM, I was not feeling too well and I just couldn't sleep, so I was just, you know, dozing off, would go try to eat a snack and I just wasn't feeling it, just was not hungry, kept going to the bathroom, drinking water, blah blah, trying to do something to get me distracted from the pain. Nothing was working. Towards 10 in the morning, I eat some oatmeal. That's the only thing that I ate. I told his mom to wake me and my boyfriend up around 10:30. And keep in mind, I fell asleep at 10 in the morning. I asked her to wake us up at 10:30 because we had an appointment at 11. So my boyfriend was sleeping because he had done an overnight, and I had laid down to sleep. And she came in to wake us up, and neither of us could wake up. Neither of us could actually stand up, and especially me, that I was just not feeling well. And I was finally able to get some sleep and actually sleep. I was just like, I'm just gonna go back to sleep, forget the appointment. You know, at that point I just wanted to rest. So me and my boyfriend are just sleeping. I'm facing the wall and he's facing the other way, or he was facing up, like upward like that. And kid you not, like around 12:10 my water broke. But this is how it happened. I felt like I had to go to the bathroom, and keep in mind I'm facing that way, so my butt cheeks are like, you know, like up this way. So I felt just water going in between my butt cheeks, and I'm just like, oh my god, like fuck, like I peed myself. And I'm just like, this is so damn embarrassing. So the second thing that comes to mind, trust me, everything's happening like this. I'm like, wake up, my water just broke. He stands up hella fast. He helps me get up because I couldn't get up because I was just like in shock, because my body kind of knew what was going on, but I couldn't like reassure myself. I don't know, like it was kind of like out of body experience, I guess, in a way. So he stands me up. He's like holding me up because I could have just fallen over because I was not feeling too well. He touches the inside of my thighs and they're dry, so he's probably not believing me at this point. But a few seconds later, you just see my insides of my thighs like with water, and we have carpet, so the water, like my actual water from my water breaking, starts hitting the carpet. And he's like, okay, we gotta go. But I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom, you hold on. So I'm like trying to walk to the bathroom like, and I'm like over here like dripping, like leaving my mark that, hey, you know what, Christy's water broken, you know, she's passing by. So go to the bathroom, go back to the room, try to get last minute things packed. Which, by the way, like if you really think you're gonna have time to pack last minute things, I don't advise you to do that. Just keep it in your bag because you will forget. I forgot a few things. I didn't need them, but you still forget. But anyways, I call my mom and let her know, you know what, like my water just broke, like we gotta go, like you're getting picked up now. So we pick her up, we're on the way to the hospital. The moment we get in the freeway, there's traffic. So I'm like, shit, you know, I'm gonna deliver in the freeway, like fuck, you know, like this is just great. But I didn't, because I actually made it to the hospital. But keep in mind, I wasn't contracting. I was just, my water had just broken, so it wasn't that bad. Towards like arriving to the hospital, I started to feel a little bit of contractions, but it wasn't really like contractions how people describe them. I just felt like pain. That's really all I felt like, was just pain, like on the sides of my hips. Like this is nothing, like the fuck. So, you know, we go to the 3rd floor where I'm supposed to get admitted because it's connected to my clinic, so that's my clinic's floor. We go to the floor, and you know, it was low staff, and they're like, oh, we're low staff, so we have to wait for a nurse. Girl, ain't nobody got time for a nurse. My water broke, like I'm trying to get a room, I'm trying to deliver my baby, like, you know, like hurry up. So I get into the room, and like it wasn't even a room, it's like a room, and there's just a curtain separated by hella girls that are like in freaking pain, yelling their asses off. So I get into one of those rooms. I'm gonna be one of those girls in a few minutes yelling. So just, you know, just keep waiting, you know, let me explain. So we get in, and she's like, did your water break? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, okay. And like they're like, oh, we have to confirm your water broke, we have to do a test on you. And I'm looking at my boyfriend like, oh my god, like is this like be freaking serious? Like, do you really have to freaking test? I'm telling you my water broke, I'm telling you I need a room to like get me connected, like let's, you know, let's keep this going, like I like this process. Everything was speeding up because everything started to speed up pretty quickly, at least it felt like that. And so I have no choice but to sit my ass down. They connect me, they put me on the monitor for the heartbeat and the baby's heartbeat, and I forgot what the other thing is, but you know, they connect you, they put those 2 bands on your stomach, so on your belly. So they do that, and I have to, they do this swap thing or whatever to confirm if, you know, to testing to see if your water really did break, to see if you're telling the truth. So fast forwarding a little bit, like yeah, during the test they're like, oh yeah, you know, your water did break, okay, we're gonna admit you to a room. And then I'm over here hearing this other girl talk about how she didn't want to deliver that day because she had things to do on Saturday, and it was Tuesday. Girl, like if you in labor, you in labor. Like ain't nobody got time to be waiting for you. Like if your baby ready to come, your baby ready to come. So I have to deal about this girl over here talking about she don't want to deliver. I'm over here wanting to deliver, and nurses are over here chit-chatting, not hurrying up. So I'm like pissed off. So what I do is like I stand up, try to walk it off, you know, try to be calm. I understand they're busy, blah blah. But then they have this table that has wheels that where you can actually eat on, you know, them little hospital tables. I had enough of them. They were taking forever to give me a room, which forever I would think was like 45 minutes. And then I had enough of enough, so I was grabbing the table, like smack it on the wall, telling my boyfriend, you better tell him to give me a room. Like I had enough of everybody. Like I wanted everyone to shut the hell up. I wanted everyone to leave me alone, and I wanted my own room. I wanted a peace and quiet. Like I was really determined to get that baby, but I was starting to get really like moody. Like I had enough of everybody by that point. I felt really bad for everybody that was around me. So as they're like, okay, get your things, we're gonna take you to the your room, but we need to find you a wheelchair. You little bitch, you could not give me a wheelchair before you told me all of this, because I'm getting my shit together. Okay, so you know, this bitch is over here trying to get me a wheelchair. So she finally sits me on the wheelchair. But as I sit on the wheelchair, I'm like, I have to throw up. Because before that, I had already felt like I had to throw up. But at that point, I was like, no, I'm going to throw up. Like, I really have to go. They didn't believe me. So I threw up on the floor, on the hallway of the hospital. I didn't care. I kept throwing up, kept throwing up, kept throwing up. And I'm just like, oh, well, like, I'm about to clean this up. Like, psh, I'm just not going to about to clean it up. Like, I'm throwing up. Like, I had enough of everybody by this point. I was frustrated. I was tired because I didn't sleep the night before. I was starting to feel contractions picking up, and they were pretty close, but I didn't know that. So I was just throwing up, and then this nurse decides to put a bucket like this close to my face as I'm throwing up. So I just grab her hand. So she's like this. I grab her hand and the bucket, and I just throw it. And I'm like, no, like, take this off my face. Like, what are you doing? So yeah, total bitch status right there. Trust me, if you've been in labor, you know that your bitch status is your status that affects everybody, and you just don't care. So that's that. And so I'm taken to my room, and they're like doing all these tests on me, and I'm not really keeping track of time because everything was really like fast-paced. You know, I start to feel like more pain, but I'm still really able to tolerate it. Like I didn't really feel pretty much of anything. I get my IV. They want me to fill out all this paperwork. They're connecting me and, like, you know, doing all these things. You know, basically getting my room together, putting me back on the monitor, telling me like the procedure, how everything is gonna go, asking me for one epidural. I'm like, no, I'm not getting that, blah blah. Like, I'm just not gonna get it. Don't even ask me. Like, don't pressure me. If I'm in pain and you're gonna ask me, don't ask me. Make sure you write it down on your damn clipboard. Don't ask me. Like, I had enough of everybody. I just wanted all the nurses to go away. So that whole process took about 2 hours because apparently there was like 5 or 6 other girls that were actually in labor. No, not labor. They were like, you know, well, yeah, they were in labor, and they were short-staffed, so it was taking them a while to get into my room, which I don't feel was my fault because I just really wanted to be left alone. I was really trying to get in some sleep because I was really tired. Because they were taking a while, I really never really got to sleep, and then the contractions started to pick up, and you know, my boyfriend, my mom, and my boyfriend's sister were there, which is one thing I forgot to mention. You know, I was doing pretty good, and I did end up getting the epidural. I got the epidural around 11. Around 11, I got the epidural, and I didn't get it until I was basically 7 centimeters. And the lady was like, "Is this your first baby?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Damn, like, you really like pushed through for your first baby, being so young, and you know, tolerating that much pain, finally doing what's best for you and getting the epidural." I'm just like, shut up, just give me fucking epidural. Like, I had enough of this pain. Because the only reason I got the epidural was because my IV had fallen out of my arm. And I know IV works really well for me. So when I realized it was off after feeling so much pain for like 45 minutes, it was really intense pain. Because my contractions were so close together. Like, I had enough of it. Kept asking for the epidural, and honestly, it sounds really scary, but the epidural is fine. Like, it's really okay for you to take it. What was scary for me was that I didn't. Sorry, my camera died. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was talking about the epidural. So honestly, I really didn't know that you were supposed to actually get the epidural put into you while you're feeling a contraction, because she's like, okay, you're supposed to bend like this and make sure you breathe. And I'm like, hold on, like I have a contraction. She's like, no. She's like, just push through it. Just try to breathe. You know, you're doing fine. You have to get it while you're like getting a contraction. So yet again, I'm like, oh my god, like this bitch, like she's really telling me that I'm supposed to like get this thing that I'm fucking like scared and terrified to get, and I can literally be paralyzed because it's going between, like it's going in the middle of like my backbones. I'm just like, oh my god, this fucking bitch. Like a million things are running through my head, like I'm not even kidding. So, you know, she's like, okay, tell your husband, your boyfriend to come here and stand where I am and, you know, do what I'm telling you. Like, okay. I'm like, okay, babe, come on. And I'm telling him like, oh my, like I'm talking to him like, oh my god, like this bitch is really fucking telling me this. And she's like, he's like, no, you know, trying to keep me calm, being the most amazing boyfriend he was from the moment we walked into the hospital till the baby got there. Because oh my god, he was being so patient, so patient. And without him, I don't think I could have done anything, because it was pretty frustrating. And he's the only, him and my mom kept me calm throughout the whole thing. So going back to getting the epidural, so it took a while because the way that, I guess, I don't know if this is how they do epidurals everywhere, but I got a little like a tube put into my back, because I was able to get the epidural in me. And then when I actually got the epidural and was able to lay back down and started to feel the numbness go down my legs, she explained to me that there was a button that I can press, that if I started to feel like the contractions again, I can press that button, the contraction medicine will go back into my back, you know, and I would start to feel the numbness again, so I can like not feel pain. But once pressing that button, that's as much medicine as I was gonna get. But I didn't really need to press it again, which I did towards the end, because I started to feel not the contractions, but I started to feel the numbness go away, and I was pretty scared to feel how it was actually gonna feel. But to my surprise, I didn't really feel anything. I think I just pressed it and didn't really even need it. But I really don't know, because, you know, I pressed it again, so, you know, took more medicine. But it was still like, I was given it twice through the machine where I press the button, but it's like getting the epidural like at one time. Does that make sense? So assuming it's a tube like this that's supposed to go in of medicine into your back, but I only got half of it. And when I felt that it was gonna, like, I started to feel the numbness fade, I can get the other half. So that's how that worked, to clarify things. And so once my pain was gone, I couldn't sleep. I was so aware of everything was going on around me, but I tried really hard to sleep, couldn't. So just woke up and I started joking around. And the moment I started to joke around, that's when my mom and my boyfriend were like, oh my god, you know what, like this girl, it does not feel anything, this girl is fine. I'm over here joking around, like, hey, like, you know, saying a bunch of other things. And then I'm like, oh my god, like I haven't even announced it on Instagram that I'm here. And I was really waiting for that moment. I was really excited because you guys had made my whole pregnancy really exciting, so I wanted to get you guys excited. So I did. And then my freaking phone lost signal, and then I'm like, oh my god, like fuck this shit. So I gave my phone away to, I don't know who had the phone, but then by the time I got my phone back, like it had blown up, which, by the way, thank you to everybody, because when I did get my phone back, I had signal again, and I was like looking through everything, and it had made me feel so much better before the baby got here. So towards the night, it was progressing. It was like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I'm over here like, okay, this is kind of boring, because my mom and my boyfriend had worked really hard during the afternoon to you know, calm me down and keep me like calm throughout the whole like time that I was there. So they were pretty exhausted, so they were trying to get some sleep. I will mention that I also did take a hot shower to help calm down the contractions before I got the epidural, because I really didn't want to get the epidural. You know, I was trying my best to not get it, but I'm not saying you cannot do it, because I did it to 7 centimeters and it wasn't that difficult. It's just that my IV came out of my hand, so I wasn't able to tolerate it as much. And you're probably like, what the hell, an IV was helping you through it? Yeah. IV is pretty powerful to me. It's pretty powerful in a lot of people. For some people it doesn't really do much, but for me, having the IV was doing a lot. But it had fallen out of my hand and my body was not getting the IV liquid anymore, so I started to feel what a lot of people call as contractions, which I was feeling, and they were a total bitch. So that's what happened. So I did take a shower. It helped for a little bit, and yeah. And then towards 2-3 in the morning, my boyfriend and my mom, like I had mentioned, were trying to go to sleep. I was just laying there, like really like trying to look through my phone, but wasn't really into looking at what a lot of people were saying and at the same time, because my mind would be so distracted, and just started thinking about like, oh my god, like at some point today, because it was already the 13th, I was just like, at some point today, like my baby is going to be born. Like I just started to be like, oh, like, you know, like that's cute. And then my boyfriend was he had fallen asleep like on the side of my bed, and I was trying to wake him up, but I couldn't, and I couldn't even like kind of like try to kick him because my legs were numb. So and my hands are really short and my legs are longer, so my hand wasn't reaching to where he was. So I'm like, oh my god, like, how do I tell him that, you know what, like I feel different, like I have to push, like he has to get ready. But it felt more like I knew that it was gonna happen. Like I knew I was gonna have to push within like 20 minutes. So I wake up my mom and I'm like, can you wake him up? And she was already like waking up anyway, so I was like, can you wake him up? So he gets up, sits on the couch, and he's like, give me a little bit more time. I'm like, no, you cannot have more time, like you have to get up, like we have to do this. So the nurse comes in, like hella chill and whatever, and before she had walked in, I had told my boyfriend and my mom I had to push. They're like, don't push, and I'm like, no, I have to push. They're like, don't push. I'm like, I'm telling you, I have to push. Do not tell me I do not have to push. Do not tell me hold it in. I have to push. The nurse comes in. She's like, no, don't push, because I don't get paid to deliver. I don't get paid for this. And I'm like, you know what? I have to push. I'm telling you, I have to push, and I have to go and push now. She's like, no, you have to wait for your midwife and blah blah blah. I'm like, girl, I need to push, and I'm gonna push whether you want me to or not. She's like, okay, let's do a practice round. Bitch, I didn't give you the option of whether you were gonna let me push or not. I am telling you I have to push. I was a little bitch. So yeah, I was like, you know, telling her that I had to push, and then she's like, she did a practice round, and you're holding your breath, and it's like it's a set of 3. I really don't know how to explain it. So she's like, wow, you're pushing pretty well. You're pushing pretty well. Did you take classes? I'm like, no. In my head, I'm like, I didn't take classes for nothing. Like, I was just not up for taking all this pregnancy class crap. Like, no. You know, like I had enough of everybody, because nobody was really taking me seriously. They all wanted me to do what they wanted. I'm like, no. To you, like, no. And I wasn't really that mean, but it feels like that. Trust me, if you've been in labor, you know what I'm talking about. So she's like, okay, keep pushing. And she's like, wow, sweetie, you're really good at this, keep pushing. And yeah, my mom was on this side, my boyfriend was on this side, and I'm holding my own like bottom of my thighs to me as I'm pushing. As I was feeling the urge to push, I would grab my thighs and pull them towards me, so I would also help the baby come out. So my boyfriend and my mom were only holding from my knee to my leg, and they were helping me, you know, hold the other part of my leg. So in less than 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I pushed out my baby, and he was born August 13. Hold on, because I just started to remember everything. He was born August the 13th at 3:56 or 3:57, one of those two. I get them so confused because I kept confusing myself. So he was born, I think, 3:56. It's so bad. 3:56 a.m., 9 pounds, 1 ounce, 22 inches long. His name is Manuel Jr. I'm not gonna say the last name, but yeah. So I'm just gonna end the video because it's really starting to get to me, because it was a really happy moment. It was really frustrating towards the end of my pregnancy, and during labor it was really easy to tolerate pain, really a little bit difficult once my IV had fallen off. Took the epidural, something I didn't want, but I just wanted to be safe for my baby. When my baby got here, my world did change. It changed for a really good reason, in a million good ways. So, you know, he does mean a lot to me, and that's why I try really hard to do school, to give him a lot of the things that he's going to want growing up.